Okay, part 2 of the 7A study guide. Again, you're looking for common denominators. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Whoops. You want to always find the lowest common denominator. So we've got an x, we've got an x squared, which is xx, and we've got an x cubed, which is xxx. So the x cubed would contain the x squared in it and the x in it. So we'll go with an x cubed as our common denominator. You multiply every term by that common denominator. That would leave us, this would cancel with one of those, so we'd have 1x squared. This would cancel with 2, so we'd have plus 2x equals, and those would cancel and we'd have 3. So we've got a trinomial here. We need to set it to 0 to factor, so we'd have x squared, we can drop the 1, plus 2x minus 3. Okay, so what two factors? You could play the x game right there. What two factors multiply to be negative 3 and add to be 2 would be x plus 3 and x minus 1. So at this point, what we do is we set each of those to 0, zero product property. Subtract 3 from each side. X equals negative 3. Add 1 to each side. And we have x equals 1. Okay. Now make sure to go to the notes and check out the section on extraneous solutions where we plug them back in and make sure that they work. So I don't see any on the study guide, and you will be expected to know those. On this problem, we look at our denominators. This one won't factor, but this factors down to 2 times x plus 2. So we know that our common denominator is 2 times x plus 2. So we multiply each side of the equation by that. Now there are a lot of ways that you could be doing this, so if you have another idea, please come in and see me. I'm just showing you one way here. That would cancel. On this side, this would cancel, so we would get 6 equals x minus 3. Use the symmetric property of equality. X minus 3 equals 6. So we add 3 to each side and we find x equals 9. Okay. Next problem. It's a difference of 2 squares right there. We have x minus 1, x plus 1. So we go through and we multiply everything by common denominator. X minus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 1, and the third term x minus 1, x plus 1. Now where it's on the top that we're multiplying it by those, then it can cancel with the term that's like it on the bottom. Cancel with the term that's like it on the bottom. This one cancels all of them. So we end up with x minus 2 times x plus 1 plus x times x minus 1 equals 38. Now we go ahead and we FOIL this. So we'd have x squared. Put them inside and outside together. Negative 2x and a positive 1x would be a negative 1x. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Plus x times x is x squared. X times negative x is negative x. Equals 38. We use commutative property, move these around, so we have x squared plus x squared minus x minus x. We're just moving these up here near the front. And minus 2 equals 38. So we have 2x squared minus 2x minus 2. Let's go ahead and subtract the 38 from each side. way we're setting it to 0, and we'd have minus 2 minus 38. So 2x squared minus 2x minus 40 equals 0. We could divide everything by 2. We'd have 2x squared minus x minus 20. And cover that 2 up so that we play the x game. We would see with the negative 20 down here that it is a minus 5 and a plus 4. Since we don't have any value in front right here, we can just go straight to our answer, x minus 5 and x plus 4 equals 0, and drop down your 2. Now we set everything in our parentheses to 0, so x minus 5 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0. We add 5 to each side. X equals 5. X equals negative 4. Subtract 4 from each side. Okay, last problem here. We've got a lowest common denominator of x times x plus 6, so we multiply everything by that. If you're needing more instruction than this, make sure to check out the notes videos. And try to go through the notes and do what you can, and then watch the video to learn the maximum that you can. X plus 6 wipes out, and we have 1x. X wipes out, and we get plus x plus 1 times x plus 6 equals x plus 6 cancels 13x. Now we have 1x plus, go ahead and FOIL that, it would be x squared plus 7x plus 6 equals 13x. Get our x terms together. 1x and 7x would be 8x, so x squared plus 8x plus 6 equals 13x. Bring this 13x over so we can set this to 0. Subtract 13x there. Subtract it right there. And we end up with x squared minus 5x plus 6. Our two factors would be x minus 6 and x plus 1. To multiply to b, they would not, because we're multiplying to be a positive 6. So they'd both have to be negative. Sorry about that. They're both negatives. That would be 3 and 2. So we have x equals 3 and x equals 2. Okay, make sure and watch the last section of notes so that you get some practice with extraneous solutions, as well as I've gone through them in class. Good luck on this test. It will be the next day in class. So practice, practice, practice.